American, but you know, it's one of those things.
This is Max. He likes to be an American. I'm Atula, I'm the lead organizer. See how you guys have been programmed from childhood. Quieten down when you hear that song. Okay.
Well, we are podcasting all over the world, so we get a lot of people from America tuning in as well. We've got good connections out to Silicon Beach.
It's a podcast, man.
It's a Periscope with video as well as sound. Awesome. Gotta love technology. Anyway, so welcome to Melbourne Silicon Beach and Makers Week 2016. Tonight, apart from the stuff with Melbourne Makers Week and everything else, they've got a great website. There's got a whole heap of events that are happening this week. We've also got a presentation shortly from General Assembly on how to know your elevator pitch. And then after that, if you've been to the drinks before, we've got the 90-second pitches, which allows you to do the 90-second pitch. And if you're looking for a job or you're looking for a partner or someone to come and work with you, you've also got an opportunity to come up and tell everyone about that as well, so that we can help try and make your dreams become a reality. The people from Melbourne Silicon Beach that are here tonight, there's myself, Max, Atula, who's the head honcho, Charity down here, who works at Collective Campus, who's an editor of Silicon News, so the newsletters that come out. Charity does those ones. Please go in and put your sign-in details on the, where is it, through?
And color, it's there.
Yeah. So it's on the meetup page, and then there's Cullen here as well, who's one of our organisers over there, waving his arms. So if you've got any questions or he does the actual podcast and does Silicon Beach Radio, so that's getting a lot of great stuff and a lot of great interviews that are happening out there. And that's about it. I'll hand over to Cullen now.
No, I'm Atula, not Cullen. Cullen is there. Too many beers, Max.
Yeah.
Okay. The periscoping that Charity is doing, we call that Silicon Beach TV because I like to be a TV star, so yeah, it's not really TV, it's periscope, but we call it Silicon Beach TV. And we actually put your pictures up on meetup.com, and our website will be up soon, which we are working on. It'll be going up there. And we are actually emailing the link to the live stream, which goes up on YouTube after a few days, to investors, angel investors in Melbourne as well as in Sydney, and we are creating a small database of angel investors around the world that we are slowly tapping and saying, hey guys, look what's happening in Melbourne, you know, if you guys want to invest, do that, and I think it's slowly happening. Okay, a little bit about, because I know a lot of you were not members of Melbourne Silicon Beach. It's your first Melbourne Silicon Beach drinks night that you're attending. So a little bit about Melbourne Silicon Beach. If you are not a member, just Google Melbourne Silicon Beach. We come up right on top. So as you can see, we have 5,818 members. So if all of you all who registered on Eventbrite become members, we would by tonight become 6,000 members. So please, before you go home, do that on a mobile phone. You can download the Meetup app or just Google Melbourne Silicon Beach and join. Because we are in the process of applying for funding from Launch Vic, the Victorian government $60 million startup fund, to take Melbourne Silicon Beach's awesomeness to the regions. We opened Geelong Silicon Beach 1 year ago. We have about 200 members. Opened Ballarat Silicon Beach about 3 weeks ago. We have about 30 members, and Bendigo Silicon Beach is opening this weekend. So we want to open in Mildura, Echuca, Warrnambool, what are the other centers all over. So, and connect all those people to Melbourne and to Silicon Valley as well. We have a Melbourne Silicon teacher who now lives in San Francisco, who's setting up a startup connecting the Silicon Valley to Australian startups. So you can get all those things happening. Now, without further ado, because the pitching is very important, we have got a few pitches, not that many, about 4 or 5. Plus, of course, our sponsors will be pitching as well. We actually We don't get any government funding, so all this is made possible by our sponsors. So please support them generously. You can see them on the meetup page. Some of them are here, so they will pitch to you afterwards, so I won't talk about that. Anything else? Be prepared to...
So if you've got any videos, pictures, tweets, any messages that are going out there, there's a couple of hashtags. There's #MKW 2016 for Makers Week 2016, and also #MSB drinks. And that'll get everything into a nice stream so that we can see all of the happenings for the night. Apart from signing up on the meetup page and staying up to date with things, there's also a sheet that Alexa put around earlier that's got a link and URLs to all of our social media profiles, Silicon Beach Radio, Silicon Beach TV, podcasts, everything like that. You can find everything on these sheets of paper.
Okay, thank you. So without further ado, let me introduce Janet Chia from General Assembly.
Thanks. We're going to load up.
How did you get a mic?
I asked nicely. Chris is at the back. He'll give you a mic if you want. Okay. All right. Good to go?
Yep.
Brilliant. Everyone, good evening. Thank you so much for coming out for this night tonight. It's actually it's a fantastic crowd, and it's my first Silicon Beach, and I'm pretty excited to be here. So thank you for having us. Representing General Assembly, we've been for about just under a year now, and we're pretty excited, as I said, to have this group in the room. So I've been around meeting some of you guys and introducing myself to some of you. It's only fair that you also hear a little bit about me. As I'll be monopolising your time for the next little while. So I work obviously with General Assembly, running marketing and presentation workshops. Day job is actually at ANZ in their innovation team. And I also have a couple of side hustles. So any ladies in the room, check out Like-Minded Bitches Drinking Wine on Facebook. Woohoo! Bring on the hat. We've got a couple of another one in the back. So we've got a couple of bitches in the room. As well as if anybody wants to buy me a coffee later, I drink on blacks. So basically, even though I do wear many hats and I've done, do a bunch of things, as you can see, something that always drives me is about connecting, creating and collaborating, which is why groups like this are so fantastic. Tonight what we're going to do is just share a little bit about some of my experiences in pitching. It's always a bit meta when you're doing a presentation about doing presentations, and I think that no matter how experienced you are, there's always room to improve and there's always room to grow. So can I get a show of hands, who's an experienced speaker or presenter? Yep, smattering. Awesome. Who is thinking about pitching tonight? Woo, go you guys. I want to see a few more hands by the end of tonight. Who would love to pitch their idea because they really believe in it, but they've got that squirmy, weird feeling in their tummy and this room is freaking them out? You know, whatever here. A couple of squirmy feelings in the stomach. Okay, let's try to channel that squirmy feeling and maybe we'll get you up on stage in the end. I'm looking at you. All right. So today what we're going to do, so before I get into it, obviously the guys have already spoken about the hashtags. If I see anybody on their phone, I'm not going to take it personally. I'm just going to assume that you're tweeting something amazing that I've just said. So please continue. All of the socials, get connected. We've got Melbourne Knowledge Week, we've got General Assembly. The team at General Assembly, their mantra is to turn thinkers into creators. So we're all about educating people in design, business and tech. So keep that in mind. By the way, this is almost 80 characters already if you do all the tags. So get really economical with your tweeting the characters. Okay, so in tonight's mini masterclass, we're going to cover a few bits and pieces. Firstly, we're going to talk about why do we get nervous. So we'll just cover a little bit about what goes through your head, why do some of us get that weird feeling that we don't want to go up on stage. Because, like it or not, when you're pitching, you're presenting. You're speaking. It doesn't matter if it's to an audience of 300 or if it's to an audience of 12 in an executive boardroom. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about getting to know your audience and actually defining who it is you're talking to and what you want to say to that particular group of people. And then we're actually going to look at the ingredients of a great pitch. So in terms of what General Assembly does, we've sort of put together a few bits and pieces of our best pitching and presenting workshops tonight. So hopefully you'll get a few gems out of this. Okay, why do we get nervous? What do you feel when you get nervous? Who's got to yell something for me? Butterflies? What else? Sorry, fear of judgment. That's a good one. That's deep. We're going to talk about that later over a drink. Sorry? Increased heart rate. Absolutely. I have to say, it's one of those things you just go like this, and then you get sweaty, and then you tremble, and it's incredibly physically debilitating if it actually gets nervous. And there's a couple of things we can thank for this, and one of those is our caveman brain, which I'm sure everybody's heard of the caveman brain, or the fight or flight concept. Well, let me explain to you why the caveman brain kicks in when we're in front of a crowd or in front of people. It's because when we were cavemen, if you were alone, it meant it was you against the saber-toothed tiger, and you were probably going to die. So, or it's you against the crowd. So as a caveman, being alone and being, not behind a rock is actually a really, really bad thing, which is why we get that sort of adrenaline, that fight or flight syndrome. We just want to run, we want to hide, and we don't want to be in front of people. There's also, of course, our modern brain. Has anyone ever laid awake at night and thought about a dumb thing they did when they were in grade 2? Just me? Come on, it's not just me. What about a dumb thing you did 5 years ago? Yep, there we go. So I think there's something to be said about the emotional trauma that we actually experience when something's gone wrong in our past. And we recall it every time we get up to do another speech. Does anyone have an idea why I've got the cat and the owls up here? Who's heard of imposter syndrome? Got a couple of nods? Yeah. So my favourite modern brain syndrome is imposter syndrome. And the reason is, imposter syndrome is a smelly little pet that creeps up behind you and says, no matter how good you think you are, no matter how good other people think you are, you're a massive fake, and you're a fraud and a phony, and nobody's going to believe you. Felt like that sometimes? I think there's a few people in the crowd who would have that feeling where if you might be sitting in a meeting and there's heaps of technical conversations going on and you get it, but you think everyone else gets it more than you. And that's just patently untrue. So, imposter syndrome, have a think about it. It's a psychological phenomenon. Even Meryl Streep thinks she's not a proper actress. Okay. So, on our little slide before when I talked a bit about things that I do, one thing I didn't mention is that I'm a reformed marketer. Done marketing for about 10 years or so. And one of the things they teach you in marketing is know your audience, right? Know your customer. Target marketing, getting really specific. Max, you know what I'm talking about. You're all about the customer. So when it comes to pitching, one of the first things I would suggest you do is really consider who are you pitching to. So in a room like this, you might be looking for your next co-founder, or you might be looking for that gun dev or the sales guru that's actually going to make your business turn around, or even just a friend. You could be pitching for customers or investors. And part of the problem is when you're actually so passionate about what you're doing and about what you're developing, it's really tempting to just go, these are all the things that I do, and just tell everybody everything, in which case you're going to lose most of your audience. So really have a think about whether or not you're pitching to the next young Zuckerberg who's going to start developing your website and what he wants to hear. So if it's a co-founder, you could maybe think about talking about your vision. So talking about your mission, what are you here for, what kind of personality do you want that person to bring, what gaps do you have in your business. So you can really start to tailor and focus your message depending on who you're talking to. On the other hand, you might be pitching to an investor. So I was at a fintech for women lunch the other day, which, side note, shouldn't be a thing, but it is. And at that lunch, there was a very senior woman who at Ernst & Young, and she was an investor. So she works for a company called Scale Angels. And Scale Angels invest millions of dollars in startups all through Australia. She has to turn away so many people with their pitches because they just don't do their homework. Scale Angels invests only in female founded or run businesses. And the number of people that they have to turn away just because they haven't actually bothered to look them up on LinkedIn, looked at their website, is astounding. And today there's no excuse. I mean, we've got so many ways to stalk potential audience members that we really shouldn't be ever going into a meeting unprepared. Has anyone heard of crystal nose? It's a crystal, yeah? Of course the marketer has. Crystal nose basically is a very, very scary but accurate online tool where you can actually look up people before you meet them, and it gives you a list of all the ways that they like to be communicated to. So there's a lot of really interesting data out there that you can gather on people before your presentation. Okay, so now that we've, recognised our nerves and we've thought about our audience, it's actually time to construct the pitch. And so let's look at the ingredients of making a good pitch. Does anyone have ideas? What do they like to see in pitches?
Faces.
Faces, okay. Oh, what do you think? Okay, that was a bad joke. Apologies on Max's behalf. What's probably the best thing that you see in a pitch? You're not going to talk to me, are you? All right. You guys are giving me anything. That's cool. Sorry? No? All right. We'll just move on. These are probably some of the elements that we see when we look at pitching and we look at businesses pitching. These are the ingredients that you get in an excellent pitch. And they can come in different forms and they can be called different things. But really, when it comes down to it, these are the ingredients. Hopefully you can read most of that. That's okay? Right, so we're going to go through each of these in a little bit of detail. But just really quickly, we've got to tell that story. So what problem are we solving? We've got to tell them what it is that we're actually doing. Build some credibility. Why are you the right people to be doing this particular thing? Bring the numbers, so it kind of will just be juicy and fluffy. And finally, give them a call to action, because I think that's something that people do forget. And that call to action also comes back to who's your audience and what do you want from them. Okay? So, kicking off your pitch. Keep it so simple. Hi, I'm Jeanette. I'm the co-organiser of the Gingerbread Demolition fundraiser. You're just going to tell them who you are, what you do. It really helps to actually talk about why you're doing this, and this is when it comes to storytelling. And the beauty of storytelling is it's actually the most natural and the most long-standing way that humans have ever communicated to each other. So I guarantee that last Friday night when you were having a drink with your friends, you were telling them a story about your week. And you know how to do that. You start with a time, you start with a place, start with an observation, something really human that they've experienced. So I'm pretty sure, I've spoken to quite a few people in this room, and there's definitely apps and websites that are being built tonight that are addressing a fundamental problem. So you need to make sure that you can nail that fundamental problem and really just capture the essence of it when you're starting your pitch. Usually it does come down to something that you've observed in the real world or something that you've experienced yourself. All right. What are you doing? What are you actually building? So there's no use telling them what problem you're going to solve if you then kind of just talk about, and then we're going to have all these great features and there's going to be a login and the users can have this and they're going to get regular. You need to tell people what's the meal that you're serving, not the ingredients in the meal. So the number of pitches that I've seen before, and I'm sure you have as well, where people just talk for the whole session and they actually don't tell you whether they're building an app, are they building a website? Is it a physical, physical thing that's got a web-enabled device? Is it software as a service? Be really specific about what it is that you're creating and make sure that people understand it. It's got to pass the mum test. So Mother's Day is coming up. So for Mother's Day, you could get your mum a really clear pitch. Or not. But basically, you need to make sure that your mum or a 10-year-old, those are sort of the two things, can understand it. No jargon, keep it really clear and simple. And also, point of difference, right? Where it's the simplest way to turn photographs into revenue. It's the lightest 3D printed bike on the market. Find one or two words that really describes your business and what sets you apart, and make sure that that's in your pitch. Good? Alright. Okay, so this one I like, because this one's about building credibility and telling people why you're the right people to be doing this business. If you are pre-launch, who's pre-launch? Yeah, got a few pre-launches. Who's launched something but you're in really early stages? Yeah. Okay, awesome. So when you're in those kinds of early stages, you probably don't have too many hard numbers yet to build your traction on, right? So when you're building your credibility, the best things to talk about are your team. So we're ex-Google. So if you're a fintech maybe, you can talk about the fact that your founders are ex-Big Four banks, or that your founders have got experience at the ATO. So make sure that you can like really back your team. Am I losing everybody? Or is it just the restaurant? Okay. I can leave if you like. That's all right. Oh, that was nice. Okay, so we've got to build traction with your team, build credibility with who you are. So what is your team's credentials? Secondly, build some credibility with any wins that you've had already. And this means anything from your mailing list, your early subscribers, it could actually be how many sales you've made, even if the sales are just to family and friends. Make sure you've got some early traction to prove. And particularly when you're talking to investors, this is something a lot of businesses do too early. So if you're talking to investors and you haven't actually proved that you can do something and that you can deliver and build something, they're probably just going to be like, yeah, cool story, bro. What have you actually delivered? So be very careful about your traction and try to build that credibility here. Oh, also, don't be afraid to name drop. So if you've actually got a really, famous business person who's mentoring you, or if you've got interest from another business, this is the time. Feel free to name drop. Okay, numbers. One of the most common mistakes we see when people are pitching numbers is that they do the top-down approach. So I'm sure some of you have heard of the top-down approach, but this is the thing where you actually say, we make a service which is about serving meals. Every single person in the world has had a meal, therefore our market is the entire world, right? You hear it all the time. And look, sure, like your market could be the entire world, but it's not, right? And investors will know that, and so will the people that you're pitching to. So a bottom-up approach with your numbers is actually a bit more effective. So talk about, at full capacity, our current team could make this many meals. At full capacity, our delivery drivers could deliver this many meals. And then work from that sort of basis, and then project it up as well. So when you're talking numbers, a really great way to build credibility with your numbers, and this is something we do, at ANZ as well. You have your mid-case, your worst-case scenario, and your best-case scenario. So when your investors are looking at your business case, they actually go, hey, these people have really considered what would happen if they weren't first to market, or they've actually considered what would happen if they lost a developer or something. So to have a think about your worst case, best case, and mid case, and present those three numbers. Don't do the whole, we can service the whole world. People won't buy it. And finally, the call to action. If you're actually looking for a co-founder, say you want a co-founder. If you're looking for someone to sign up to your mailing list or beta product customers to test it, say that as well. Give people a really clear, really simple way to do things. And I think really, what I'd like to actually say here, a pitch is not a sales pitch. It's an invitation to collaborate. So if you're actually trying to bring people on board with your journey, you're inviting them to come with you, you're inviting them to collaborate. You're not actually trying to sell them, because people don't like being sold. So keep that in mind when you're actually pitching, that you're inviting people to come with you, whether they're an investor, whether they're a customer, or whether they're a co-founder. You just want them to feel your story and understand where you're going with it. Now, I'm actually going to get some help from my lovely assistant, Atula here, and we're going to put all of this together into practice. Woo! Okay, so we're going to go back and we're going to fill in the gaps. How do you feel about that? Yeah? Okay. All right, I'm going to time you. You have 90 seconds.
Only 90 seconds?
Okay. Right, ready?
Okay, ready.
Go.
Hi, my name is Atula, and I'm the lead organizer of Melbourne Silicon Beach. And, well, I'll tell you a story, first of all, how I came to be here. I got the idea for an app, and I'm an accountant, and I don't know anything about how to build an app. So I joined Silicon Beach. And because I heard that that is where you could find your team. So if you have an idea and if you want to find your team, this is the place to come, because there are drink
Tell them what it is. What is it?
Yeah, it's basically a community of different people. You get app developers, you get web developers, you get programmers, everybody. So you can find everyone in one place under one roof. And you can also, it's a place where you can, your team, where our team includes various people from all those disciplines so that you can find what you want.
All right, we're almost there. What do you want?
Well, the numbers, my goodness, we have 5,800 members. So that means you can find anybody you want. And we know this because people have done this before. A lot of successful startups say that they found their co-founder, their tech co-founder, and everybody through Silicon Beach. And today what we're looking for is your ideas so that we can present it to the world and to the government, and this is what we're doing, and so that we can raise funds to take Silicon Beach to the next level. We're forming a non-profit company, and we invite you to come as sponsors and also as members.
Thank you, Athula. Sorry to put you on the spot. My lovely assistant. Look, it's a bit unfair for me to do that and not try to give you an example myself, but I think we're going to have plenty of examples later. Do you want an example? Yeah? Okay. So look, before we actually hand the mic over to you guys, does that all make sense so far? Yeah? All good? Okay. So I just want to leave you with a few final, tips and tricks for actually giving your presentation. And this is more about stagecraft rather than the content of the features. Who's heard of a power pose? Yep, we got some Amy Cuddy TED Talk fans in the house. So the power pose is a concept that if you actually stand like Wonder Woman or like Superman, Superman, this way? You can actually, and if you hold that pose for 2 minutes, you'll actually change the chemical makeup in your brain. So if you're feeling nervous, go and find a quiet corner and stand like Wonder Woman for 2 minutes, and I guarantee your heart rate will come down, your brain chemicals will change. This is science, people, apparently. Now this is something I talk very quickly, I'm aware of that. As I said, you can always improve. But just keep in mind that what seems really slow for you actually seems quite normal for your audience. Does anybody remember when they were in primary school and you had to do the whole, "Good afternoon, teachers and children. On my summer holiday, you remember that? Yeah. So obviously we're of the same generation probably. But when it comes to making eye contact, it's actually not very effective to look at the back of the room because people know you're not looking at them. So even though for you that feels more natural, it's actually better to land a sentence with somebody and then move on to the next person. It might feel a little bit awkward for that person when you're making that point, but it actually makes everyone feel like they're being involved in the presentation. So see if you can actually land a point when looking at someone, and it also brings people back in from when they're having a drink and they realise that you're looking at them and it's really awkward. Hi. Alright. This one is really helpful. So making friends with the audience beforehand, or at least finding one friendly face, someone nice in the front row who's got your back, it actually really helps because it means that even if you're really nervous and things aren't going well for you, you can always come back to that person and they'll make you feel like everything's okay. Don't be afraid to go around and chat to anyone in the audience as well. And this is probably one not for tonight, but for any other pitches that you might do in your future. Logistics are absolutely crucial. Trust me, you do not want to be on the floor under the conference table plugging in shit when people are waiting for you to give your presentation. You've seen it, right? You've been there and then nothing works. Do not do that. If you get a chance, go to the venue beforehand, get to the presentation way early. Just do everything you can to make sure you're not that guy or girl. The other thing I just want to tell you as well is you already know how to do this. You've told your story to so many people. I guarantee you've told your family and friends. You've probably done it when you're drunk. You know your stories, you know? And I think that one of the best things about pitching, and particularly to a friendly crowd like this, is that you get a chance to have like-minded people give you some really genuine feedback and get excited for your ideas. And it's one of those times when I think if you've got that squirmy feeling in your stomach and you're not sure whether you're ready to pitch, I mean, you can't get a friendly audience in this. So I'd really encourage you to give it a go. I'm looking at you two. I'm looking. We talked before. Don't look behind you. Don't look behind you. Guys, do you have any questions about this? I haven't given you a very specific, I haven't pitched myself, which is a bit cheating. Someone actually told me that I could probably give this presentation in 90 seconds and get off the stage.
One question.
Yeah.
One people tell us is, why do you give only 90 seconds? 90 seconds is not enough.
Why do you give only 90 seconds?
Because I think 90 seconds is enough in Silicon Valley, but then they give only 30 seconds.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to actually reading someone's CV, 6 seconds. People look at your CV for 6 seconds. And so when they have you in front of them, you don't get a lot longer to actually grab their attention. And the worst thing you can do when you're pitching is be boring. So start with that story. Start with that, that headline statistic. 200% of people are, are locking themselves out of their cars, which is impossible, but you know what I mean. Don't drink coffee. Good tip. Why do you say that? Yeah? Okay. We've got a tip about not drinking coffee because it's actually going to make your heart rate even worse. Good tip. Good tip.
What about beer?
Is beer okay? That reduces your heart rate, right? Your heart's on the other side, mate. Yeah. Any other tips from the crowd? Who's actually got a great tip that they've heard or seen? Any of the bitches? Got one?
We're all friends.
We're all friends. We're all here to support each other. I think that's an awesome thing to take away. Yep. Speak up! Are you talking to me directly? Sorry? Chris, is I too soft the entire time? Okay. You would have told me, right? Cool.
And also, this is not Shark Tank.
This is not Shark Tank. People are not going to yell at you. This is the friendliest crowd you could do it. So please do get up. Have a chance at pitching. If you are ever interested in learning more about design, tech, business, General Assembly is a place to be. I love the fact that this collaboration is happening tonight. We've got virtual reality over there. We've got a 3D printed bicycle. We've got people making all sorts of cool stuff in this room. So, look, guys, thank you very much for having me. That's it from me. Over to you.
Thank you. And we actually have a mic now, which is awesome, so you can hear me talking. Okay, now Melbourne Silicon Beach, as Atula was saying earlier, we don't have any government funding. We're the largest non-funded startup. What we are trying to do with some of the government incentive schemes is level up and actually provide a lot higher service level to the general startup community, and having a lot more, semi-automated and easy connections between everyone, as well as these drinks and other regular events. We do have other training partners as well. We've got General Assembly, Collective Campus, and we have a new education partner as well, which is Blue Chili. Blue Chili have just moved down from Sydney and down here. Is there anyone from Blue Chili actually here tonight?
Blue Chili here?
No? No? Okay, but we have people from Collective Campus and General Assembly both here. So if you wanted to talk to them about any trainings and stuff like that, do that sometime during the night. Our normal venue where we are is the Royal Melbourne Hotel. So if you go on to Meetup, it's usually at the Royal Melbourne Hotel. So they're our venue sponsor normally. And then we've also got Bitcoin Group. You can see over here. They've got a great co-work space. Basically, what's that area called?
South Bank.
Yeah, in South Bank.
We'll talk about it. You go to the sponsors store.
You're gonna do a pitch? Little talk. Tell us about stuff. Yep. Okay. We've got Handle PR and GetWorm as well. Yep. Okay. So we have our 90-second pitches. Because they give us money, they're allowed to come up and talk to us.
Before
Okay.
they can talk.
Yeah.
You get Martin on first because he takes to talk longest to you, timing.
So once he gets past 90 seconds, someone, start, tapping their glasses or something like that for him to finish off, it'll be okay. Okay?
Hello everyone. Whoa, it's loud, isn't it? Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah. Cool. So I'll start off this a little pitch with something I always do when I talk a little bit about Bitcoin. Who here has heard of Bitcoin? Hey! Excellent. Good stuff. And who here has used or owns Bitcoin? Has bought some? Not many people at all. Okay, that's a bit strange because 5 years ago, if you'd have bought $100 worth of Bitcoin, it would now be worth $500,000. What? I know, right? So who knows what Bitcoin's going to be worth in the next 5 years' time? So it might be worth maybe investing a couple of dollars into Bitcoin. Who knows? But I'm not here just to talk about Bitcoin. I'm the general manager for the Melbourne Bitcoin Technology Centre, and we're a co-working space in South Bank on City Road, just behind the Eureka Tower. And we offer awesome co-working to innovative and disruptive fintech startups, Bitcoin, blockchain, cryptocurrency businesses. But we also have other entrepreneurs working out of the space as well. And we're also the home office for Melbourne Silicon Beach, also known as Silicon Offices. So that's pretty cool. So this is our new look website, which has just been redeveloped by Liam Hannell over there. There he is. How's it look, guys? Is it good? And here's the core team. And we've got some sponsors. And if you want to have a look at maybe we can see some of the pictures of the artwork. Because we've just had some graffiti custom Bitcoin artwork done, which is kind of cool, by a local artist called Macatron. So check him out, he's pretty cool. Up. Anyway, well that would do, Arturo, that's cool. Yeah. Okay, cool, well, let's have a look at the pricing, because that's important. Yeah. So has anyone here got a startup? Yes? 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 Are you looking for something to work from? Okay, great. Well, come to the Melbourne Bitcoin Technology Centre. So this is our pricing, $30 a day, $200 a month part-time, 20 hours a week, and $350 a month full-time, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. So it's fantastic value. And this is one of our member businesses. So,
Hello, I'm Paul. Hi, I'm good, thanks. So I have a business called Handstand. I wasn't going to pitch it right now, but I can. All right, I'll pitch it. Awesome. Okay, so I've been at the Melbourne Bitcoin Technology Centre for about a year and a half. I love Bitcoin as well. I'm pretty passionate about decentralised technology. This has got nothing to do with it. Basically, I've been working on software projects, and through working on software projects, I hurt my arm. Okay, so because I got a bit of RSI. So I created the world's most portable laptop stand, which is available now. I just created the buy now button on the website today. And here is the video, because I don't actually have any product today, because it's with somebody at the moment. So this is it. It's aluminium, fits on top of your laptop, folds together nicely, and it looks beautiful. Here we go. And the laptop, voila! Whoa. So it's called andstand.com if you're interested.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's it. That's 2 pictures in one. Okay, next I'll invite. Let's get these things up. Handle your own PR, Jules. So Jules is actually helping us. She has trained Cullen how to do his PR. Now I'll ask you how Cullen is doing.
Cullen's doing really well, and he managed to beat the possible campaign that he did. He wanted 5,000, he got about 8,000, I think, Cullen, didn't you? Which was purely because I taught you how to do PR and you managed to get some radio. Okay, so my name's Jules Brooke. I own Handle Your Own PR, and I run it in conjunction with Karina, who you may or may not have seen over previous Silicon Beaches. But I teach startups and small businesses how to get in the media. And I would absolutely love to teach any of you, because I know that the media is just sitting there hanging out for the latest new product and the latest new business. I've got a webinar boot camp that I run, which is just an hour a week, but by the end of the 6-week boot camp, you will actually have hopefully sent out your media release and got some media coverage. I've just started a boot camp last night, so it's not too late if anyone wants to join in and learn how to get on TV, radio and in print. And I've also done a Silicon Beach radio interview with Cullen and Paul from Ant Stand, and it's going to be posted sometime in the next week, I hope. Isn't it, Cullen? And if you listen to it, you'll hear me coach Paul, who thought he wasn't ready for PR and it was all too hard, exactly how to do it. So I'm going to start doing that once a month on Silicon Beach Radio. I'd love you to join in. If anyone wants to do the boot camp at the moment, come and talk to me afterwards. I started it last night. It's 6 weeks, but we have lots of recordings that you can listen to. It's not too late, and I believe that for less than $1,000, you should be able to promote your business for the rest of your life. So I'll teach you how.
Yeah, and just for everybody, anyone that comes up and does a pitch, both the sponsors, anyone that does a 90-second pitch, and anyone who comes up who has jobs or is looking for partners, after the meetup, we have a message that we send out to everyone, and it has links to everyone's websites and contact information as well. So it allows you to continue your networking and trying to connect with people afterwards. Now, get word, guys. Okay, anyone who's got a startup and they're looking at getting on some early adopters, these are you guys.
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you. This is the side? Okay, no, not the side. Okay, good evening. For those of you who don't know me, I'm one of the Melbourne-based co-founders of Getworm. And what I want to talk to you about quickly tonight is the product game. So rather than just show you our website, which you can look at in your own time, product game. But yeah, what is Getworm? Not everybody knows. It's a place where portal where startups and early adopters meet, and startups can create incentives, worms, for early adopters to consume and become that early wave of users for that startup. And there's more on the website, and there'll be more on Saturday when we talk about how to get your early users at the event there. The product game. Just a bit of things that we've sort of observed. Most of you might not be aware of this, but we thought that you should know about this. So most startups are in this sort of initial features phase. Everybody tells you be sharp, be focused, focus on some set of features that you want to bring to market. But really what you're bringing to market is a whole product. And the product is not just a sum of all of these, it's initial features times future features times SKUs, team, market, which includes your early adopters, and the industry. And the reason I'm pointing this out is because if you're too focused on this, you lose sight of this. And what makes an early adopter for your product is you don't have to tell them what your overall product is. They see this and they understand that. And that's what they tell their friends and others. They talk about your product, not about your initial features. So if you're not thinking product, if you're not playing the product game, everybody else is. An investor that's judging your team, your market, your industry, your future features, they're looking at the product, not your early features. And same with the early adopters. With that in mind, so what we brought out not that long ago on Getworm is a quorum for an open discourse between the startup and its early adopters. So you can start talking to them about your product and start actually understanding how your early adopters see your product, not your early features. And we see this as a very important part of moving your startup forward. It's not just about getting those users on board, it's about engaging in a conversation. Start thinking about what I haven't thought about yet. Should the product be this? Should I add this feature? Should I emphasize this other feature? Should I make this easier to use? things like that. And your users will actually give you that feedback willingly. So that's, in a nutshell, the product game. And if you're not playing it, you need to play it. So you can find out more at getworm.com. Follow us on Twitter at getworm. Saturday, we'll be doing a presentation on getting your early users. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Eddie. Okay, so GetOne has been a sponsor from right at the beginning, so they get nearly 3 minutes because they have been supporting us. Actually, I suggest that you guys watch Shark Tank. I think it is starting this Sunday on Channel 10. Now, that is not the actual way investors invest. It is sort of a more entertainment oriented, but you can learn. And one of the questions they ask is, have you got users? Have you got any customers? And that sort of questions you should be ready to answer when you're pitching. So don't just go and pitch to investors without asking, without first finding out who the early adopters are. So who else from sponsors? Michael, do you want to, yeah, I just saw you now. It's one of our sponsors. I'll get the website up. While I do that, you can start.
Hey guys.
Hi everybody, my name is Michael Valentine. I'm the General Manager of TCF Services here in Melbourne. We offer a couple of lines of service that are very useful to startups. One of those is R&D tax incentive services. So a lot of companies don't know when they're doing a startup that they could actually get co-funding from the government of up to 45 cents in the dollar for each dollar they spend on R&D. So we have expertise in assisting companies with gaining access to that funding. We also have a product on the market which is actually where we can actually pre-fund up to 80% of a future R&D benefit, which can be really useful to companies who might be struggling for funding and hoping to lengthen their R&D runway a little bit. They can be a useful thing, but I won't go on for too long tonight because tax is not the most exciting subject on earth, but it's something that you should look into if you are running a startup. And I'll just ask Atula to just click on the resources thing. So at the tcf.net.au is our website. We have actually quite a lot of useful information for startups that's free that you can download and access there. And if you ever do have any questions about R&D, my contact details are on the website there as well. So thanks very much, have a great night.
Thank you. So I think we have now finished with the sponsors who are here. Just support the others who are not here as well, you can find them. And let's go on to the 90-second pitches. And the first is Paul from Alex Solutions.
How is everyone tonight? Are we getting some good connections out of it? Some good information? Yeah? Yeah? That's great. That's great. We do have another half an hour to an hour after the pitches as well. That is just for networking and catching up with people at that time as well. And while these guys are pitching, if you could just give them a listen and give them a go so that they're able to get their message out. Thanks.
Great, thanks everyone. Look, imagine an organisation, a large organisation, earning more than $1 billion in revenue. This organisation is going through a transformation. They're trying to become a data-centric organisation. They want to actually lead their activities using analytics. More than anything else, this organisation really needs to trust their data. Alex Solutions is a Melbourne-based organisation. We're very proud of that. We've actually developed a cloud-based software as a service that integrates into enterprise systems. It pulls data out of those enterprise systems and creates a visual pathway analysis so that people can actually understand how information is moving through their organisation. That helps them build trust, and our application helps simplify and amplify all of that information so that they can gain value out of all of that insight. Really, it appeals to a key number of people in the organisation, from people like operations people who need to understand the impact of some data missing or going lost in the organisation. Who's going to be impacted by that, and what processes are going to stop operating? It appeals to the business analyst who's trying to understand the impact of change. Somebody who's going in there and actually looking at what the requirements are going to, how it's going to affect the data landscape. It also benefits the data scientist who's going out there looking for data assets. They're trying to understand what data already exists in their organisation that they can actually get value out of. And then ultimately, it also supports the people who are doing support for strategy and risk analysis. I just want to end very briefly by saying that we've actually just been recently recognised by Gartner in their global cool vendor analysis report in the risk management space. And what we're really looking for is people who can help us take this whole product and solution globally. We've already sold it to 3 large enterprises already, so we're already gaining revenue, and we're really looking forward to people's ongoing support and really growing the business on a global basis. If you're interested in more, you can come to our website, which is alexsolutions.com.au, and I'd be more than happy to give you more information about why Gartner thinks we're actually a breath of fresh air, bringing visualization to information governance. So thank you very much.
Question, so your market is actually large companies, is it?
Indeed, yeah. We've got about 700 companies that we think is our market in Australia, and then about 70,000 companies worldwide. Yep.
Right, thanks. The next one, lyraprojects.org. Who's running Lyra Projects? Okay, Liam. Liam is actually, I need to introduce him as the first guinea pig of Silicon Incubator. So we started the Silicon Incubator, it was just a phrase in my head, because when Bitcoin Center gave us free co-working space, so I put up a notice on Meetup. We are going to have a Silicon Incubator. Any startup founder interested in working here, come up. Liam was the only person who answered the call, so we are testing the concept, the minimum viable product. This is our minimum viable product for Silicon Incubator.
Thank you. My name's Liam. I'm from Lyra Projects, and so Lyra Projects is a platform to help people reduce their environmental impact by tracking. First of all, let me start with a story. So first of all, years ago when I was doing communication design at Swinburne, there was a packaging design class that got me into a competition that was based on social impact, and the purpose was that we had to design something that focused, design a package that had social impact. So that's sort of what got me started to think, like, what else could be perhaps designed for social impact. If you look around, literally everything in this room has been designed. So I sort of thought, why can't that be done instead for ourselves and also perhaps the environment as well. So I became really interested in what if, instead of just companies measuring everything about themselves, what if we as individuals did that same thing, and utilising that information, we're able to better ourselves and hopefully reduce our impact. So what's the problem? We don't understand, well, most of us are unaware of the true costs or the real impact that we're having as a result of our consumption, our travel, our energy. Time is almost up, and so what is it? It's an app that helps you track that. How it works is that you connect to your house, your smart meter, your current location, and it tracks that automatically for you. I'm looking for funding, and I'm looking for a co-founder who knows dev, so if you have either of those, please talk to me afterwards. Thank you.
Okay. Now next up is Sinafa, I don't know how to say that, I don't have the name of the person who gave this website. There you are. Introduce yourself and go for it. And just an announcement, there's a pizza place and a hot dog place just inside these premises, so you can order your food after the pictures and keep on networking.
Thank you very much. My name is Connie Koulazakis. We live. Imagine our real life was like our online life, where you watch videos and you pause and stutter and go back to the start. This is not a problem only for people using Facebook and YouTube. It actually, network buffering is a big problem for organizations, hospitals, banks, education. It costs billions and billions of dollars every year. And what's worse, the money's not even the big problem. The biggest problem is it's stealing from you every day. And it's stealing your most precious commodity, which is time. So we started a company 4 years ago, and we commercialized it 12 months ago. And we're going to solve the world's network buffering problems. And we're 12 months in commercialization. We've got our product in 200 networks around the world. And got my colleague here with me today. We're looking for people to join us on that journey. And we're going through some funding rounds. We've got customers. Our revenue is growing very quickly. And we're also looking for people in R&D development and also other roles in a fast growth startup. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Con. Okay, next we have Yamd. Is that how you pronounce? Ayut from Yamd. Ayut is an old friend from Hum, Melbourne. Used to be a member, or still a member, Connect member, but don't go there. And Ayut is launching a startup, a very tasty one.
Thanks, Atula. You know, we know that Melbourne is the startup capital of Australia, but Melbourne is also the food capital of Australia. Yeah! What better place to start a food tech business? At Yum, we will give you extraordinary meal adventures by connecting amazing cooks with adventurous foodies. So on the platform, it's a social dining platform, and on the platform anyone can post an event, and you're going to host a dining event, and others can come and attend and pay. So it's a way to earn a bit of money as well. When we started and we went into the market, we were just astounded by the number of amateur cooks who are amazing, but they didn't have a platform to showcase their skills and gain recognition. We are providing that with a review system, so anyone can actually, just put on an event, and then if you're good, you get all the ratings. And fortunately, about January this year, we got some seed funding, and that's where we are right now. And we're building a platform, and we are also sponsored by Simplot Australia. I don't know how many of you have heard of Simplot Australia. Simplot is one of the world's largest food companies, and they actually looked at our model and thought it was quite interesting, and they actually are our sponsor. Now, let me tell you, it's one of the most enjoyable jobs in the world. When you talk about food and drinking and company, all of us love good food and good company, and this is what our business brings to you. Right? So apart from the food itself, there's more, because anyone who attends one of our events is actually connected to everyone you have ever met before. So it becomes a social network of people you have met at our events, and this allows you to keep in touch with them. And finally, just to finish, I have an invitation to all of you. This Friday at 5:30, we have one of our many launch events, and I would like you to come. And for more details, go to our site, yum.com. And this is the one, Friday Aperitivo. It's all there. Go and book. Places are limited. Go and book and come and meet us and talk to us more about it. I'll have some flyers that I'll be handing out after this talk. Thank you.
Thanks, Al. That's great. So I think when you told me, I said I have another Melbourne Knowledge Week event on the same time. I think I'll cancel that and I'll come to yours. So $15 is good value, and it's from Master Chef rejects. Basically, they can come in and cook there. I think it's a really good idea. I think it's got legs. Okay, next is Entrelegal or Entrelegal. Who's that? Okay. How do you get rid of your subscribe? Okay.
Maybe the ads. Hi everybody. Anybody know any good lawyer jokes? Have you heard the one about the 1,000 lawyers at the bottom of the sea? What that means? It's a good start. Yeah, you've heard that. So I wondered why lawyers are not really a popular profession. And I figured that people are very afraid to go visit lawyers because they never tend to advertise their prices. I've visited the websites of small firms, medium-sized firms and large firms, and it's really difficult to know what they're going to charge you, what they're going to rope you into. And I don't know if anyone's ever had a good experience with a lawyer's bill, probably unlikely. Any case, Entrelegal is a 100% online and national legal firm offering. That's our first point of distinction. We provide services to anyone and anywhere in Australia. Secondly, we advertise all of our prices up front. They're fixed, and you know you're getting what you pay for. And the third point of difference is that we're heavily into social media marketing. Being an online firm, we spend most of our efforts advertising on Facebook and Google Ads. So far I've allowed myself a budget of about $20 a day, and that's given me a few hundred website hits a day, which I'm pretty happy with. It works out to about 10 cents a hit. So that's pretty good. We like to provide a bunch of useful information about starting up a business in Australia. All of our services are aimed to entrepreneurs and micro businesses. That is an area of the market that is not really catered for particularly well in Australia these days. So all I ask is please take a look at the website, and if you see anything you like, don't hesitate to contact and preferably use our online booking system. Thank you.
Sorry, what's your name? Eddie. Okay, I just learned something. Because in Australia, it says welcome to Australia, where you can't smoke in prison, get drunk at a bar, boo at a sporting game, or ride a bicycle without a helmet. Yeah, didn't notice that. That's true. Okay, thanks. Ready? Okay, who's left? TCF services we have done. My e-tax is next. And after that, get work is finished. Shunify is finished.
Yeah,
so
we are most of the way through, guys, so hold with it.
Yep, I think you're the last. Okay? Thanks.
Hi, how you doing? My name's Mike. I run an IT, web development and SEO service company, but we also make web applications on the site. So this is one of the applications that we make. It's a cloud bookkeeping application for small to micro business owners, but it's also good for individuals, where you can record all your expenses online and categorize them, and also upload all your receipts. You can scan it or with your smartphone, take a photo, upload it, and then at the end of the year just go to your tax account without the shoebox full of receipts and get your tax deduction. So it's basically online business ledger or a cloud bookkeeping application for users and small business owners and micro business owners. I can't show you the login, but if you go to register, it's all free.
So what's your call to action? You're actually asking customers?
Yeah, we're just looking for users. The more users that's using our platform, you can also give us feedback. It's completely free. It's also designed for Australia GST, so anybody in New Zealand can use it. We got a couple of people from New Zealand and one or two from Indonesia. But also you can use sales tax, VAT, if you're in US. I'm not sure if the tax, it also calculates GST, so I don't know if it does it correctly for the sales tax, but it calculates GST perfectly. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Okay.
We have a couple more very quick ones. We have the Vault. Alexa? Yeah? No website? Pre-website?
while Alexa is loading the website, I'll just ask once again, those of you who are not members of Melbourne Silicon Beach, just join the meetup, because that's where you get all the information, all the emails, and Silicon News will come up. At the moment, we have put Silicon News on hold because we were too busy with Melbourne Knowledge Week. It will come up later this month. Okay, Alexa.
Thank you. Hey, everyone. My name is Alexa, and I am a web developer. I ask everyone to please listen to this, because this is not a sales speech. This is about fixing the problems we've got in the world at the moment. So I'm a web developer in day job, but at the same time I think of all the problems we've got in the world at the moment. And one of the main root cause of the problem is the monetary system that we have at the moment. Our monetary system is designed terribly, and it encourages all the bad things, and it doesn't help anyone to actually follow their passions. Most of the people we have in the world, they're not doing something they love. They're just trying to find a job to earn a living, and after like living their life 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, they die. This is the weblog for my friend Steph. He's a Belgian guy. At the moment, he's in Melbourne. A few days ago, he published this article, the first one that you see on the top, Fixing the Economy. And this is about introducing a new way of handling money, monetary system that works perfectly with the systems that we have, but in a healthy way, in a way that encourages people to do things and follow their passions. So what I need is I want to spread the word about this new way of looking at money, and anyone who has some sort of talents, skills, or connections, or somehow could help this project, designers, I don't know, please make sure that you read the article and contact the author and help him spread the word, because if we fix the monetary system, every problem in the world will be fixed. Thank you.
Sir, there's another person.
Want to do gingerbreads? Sorry, so what's a gingerbread thing? Come on, tell us about the gingerbreads.
You thought you got rid of me, didn't you? Okay, I think I'm the last one, and then you can all get drunk. Hi, I'm Jeanette. I'm the co-organiser of the Gingerbread Demolition. The Gingerbread Demolition is an event which is raising funds to Save the Children of Australia. We are a brand new style of fundraising for a new generation of professionals who want to be philanthropic but don't want to go to a boring black tie event. It is exactly as it sounds at the Gingerbread Demolition. We build and we smash massive gingerbread houses with baseball bats. Yes, you heard me correctly. We basically, last year we had our first event in December. We raised over $5,000 and had over 200 people attend the first event and attracted corporate sponsors such as Hocking Stewart, Lux Bite and Cupcake Central. This year what I'm looking for is more corporate partners, so if anybody would like to come along and join us this year as a sponsor, please do let me know. And I'm also looking for smashers, so I want people to please jump on our website, gingerbreaddemolition.com, jump on our Facebook page, stay in touch with the Gingerbread Demolition, and come and raise some funds for a worthy cause while eating some delicious gingerbread. Thank you.
You got to sort of love Melbourne. We've got food startups, the Gingerbread Demolition, and what's your women drinking thing? Yeah, like-minded bitches drinking wine, only in Melbourne, eh? Okay, so that's the end of our 90-second pictures for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for showing the people up on the stage the respect and listening to what they're doing. This Saturday, there's another Makers Week event that's on at Collective Campus, which is the old... What did I say? Makers Week. Melbourne Knowledge Week. Okay. Melbourne Knowledge Week. At Collective Campus on Queen Street in Melbourne, 2 to 6 p.m. There's exhibitors, presentations, trainings, a whole heap of stuff that's happening there that's going to be great for startups, entrepreneurs. 4 hours Saturday afternoon, completely free, and be similar sort of crowd to this, but a whole heap of other people that are there just to get the training and stuff as well. Another great networking opportunity. So please come along and join us there. Okay, final little thing we normally also have at Melbourne Silicon Beach is if anyone has partners that they're seeking or employees that they're seeking for their startup, or if someone's new to Melbourne or looking to join a startup and you have skills to offer, you can come up and do a quick 30-second sale on yourself or your business to see if you can match up. Anyone wanting to come up and do that tonight? Pitch yourself? No? Okay. Okay, that's it, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, great, guys. Thank you very much for coming along. Hopefully we'll see you Saturday. If we don't see you Saturday, see you at Melbourne Silicon Beach Drinks next month. Thank you very much.